traders, Mike Hamilton speaking. I'm going to give you a very short, succinct view on what I'm seeing in the markets for the week ahead. It's a slow week for the pound, but it's a very busy week for the US. We've got Fed rates and GDP on Wednesday, followed by non-farm payroll on Friday. Now, what we've got in this market is distribution pattern we talked about last Sunday, and then the eventual sell-off in the second half of the week. So what I'm looking for is the short. I want to pull back on Monday and then see if we can come and retest this support level here in the by about Tuesday, Wednesday morning, and then see if we get GDP rates and the Fed rate decision out of the way to see if we can get a little bounce into this area here, particularly non-farm payroll Friday. But what I'm ultimately looking for is a retest of that, excuse me, retest of that star, back end of the week, and then for weakness. So that's the sort of scenario I'm looking at, but I will update you on that scenario as the week plows ahead. Forex wise, if I move on to the Forex charts, I'm seeing an Aussie dollar which is struggling in a very narrow range, so I'm leaving it. Potential lower high here, reversal bar on Thursday, so this could roll over. If we start closing under 93, could come all the way down to 92 and beyond. But the most interesting chart I'm seeing out there at the moment is the pound Aussie dollar. That's a hammer and a close above the next day on the daily chart. I would buy 180.50 with a stop under the lows 179.80 to see if that can pick up. I mean, if that can get going, the pound represents one of the strongest, well, the strongest economy in the G20 at the moment. So if we can, massive support down here, we can start closing, holding this monthly pivot, closing above 181. I think we at the very least approach 183, 184, and potentially break out and come visit 190. So if I look across the other charts, I'm seeing pound yen very sideways, holding that monthly pivot, but I want to see at least a close above 173. At least, otherwise that is just like I said, it's a very slow week for the pound, very little data on the pound, so we may just get another lot of sideways action on that one. And the pound US, it's a pound Aussie again, pound US, if we close above 170 on Monday, that could open the door for another move at least back to 172. But break that low and then we are toast. So what I will do is I'll mark off the Monday range and then look for that to give us direction. So in fact, I would even go as far as to say, if you mark off Friday's range, that is likely to give you direction for this coming week. And let's look at the Euro US, and we have a lot of support down here. A lot of support under here at 134. We're currently 134.30. What I would ideally like to do is to see a pullback to 135 to get short, because if it's low RSIs, I don't want to short. I don't short low RSIs, just a rule. And the monthly chart is sitting on the 50 MA right now, so I would want to see a bounce in that, although that is obviously very weak. It's continuing to give a short signal, but I personally don't want to get short down there. I want to get short higher up. Euro yen is holding its own. There's massive support down there at 136, but I think a pullback to 137.50 could see that get ready for another move down. The US dollar is gaining a lot of strength at the moment, which is why, if you look at the US dollar CAD, I think one of the better charts is US dollar CAD and pound Aussie dollar. To me, are the best charts out there. So 107.70 is a potential buy area for a retest of these levels up here. A nice move off of 106.20. I took a chunk out of that when it went to 107.30. It's been very sideways up until the back end of the second half of last week, and so I would, like we had on this big bar here, we just consolidated for a period. I would just be very patient for a pullback, possibly even retest the monthly pivot before that makes a move to 109. Quick look at commodities. I'm seeing oil. If I can just find oil for the moment. Like the pound, I would just mark off Friday's range, and see which way we break out of that. It's potentially a hammer on the 50 MA on this chart. On my other chart, 50 MA is shown up here, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, it's a tight range last week. It just reacted to news. It wasn't technically. It was just very sideways. There was a nice dip on Friday, which could have found some support. But I'm finding volume. The main part of the week was quite slow. Volume on Friday was good. Like I said, I'm just going to wait until Monday's range, but I think either if we just bracket even Fridays, I think that could be quite telling. And let's look at stocks on the next video. Okay, other commodities, gold and silver. I bought gold at 12.97, I think it was, on Thursday. It stopped me out and then closed higher on Friday. But that's a new low, close above next day. I would look to buy that around about the 12.97 level again, with a stop under 12.88. Because I think gold is potentially going to pop up now. Silver's the same. That's a tougher call because that's not closed above the 50 MA, but I would look to buy at 12.50 with a stop under 12.20, because I think silver is potentially going to get a run here. And if that 50 and 200 crosses, I think we could start to see some decent moves. A very bullish monthly chart last month, and so I think this is an opportunity to get in now. The grains are very weak. I'm leaving them. It's not a good time to traditionally trade the grains, but I'll keep an eye on that for you. Not seeing any other commodities that are good. Stocks I'll do on the other video. Traders Round Table, we'll be talking about how to tell the possible trend for the week ahead. Alright, we're going to be looking at how to tell the possible trend for the week ahead. Alright, enjoy the rest of your weekend and see you then.